Hey everyone, Steve here, yes, in the studio with my reaction to Liverpool 3, Burnley 1, the Reds battling injuries, suspensions, flu bugs, all kinds going wrong there for you. It was just one of those games that you just had to win and get out of there, and that's exactly what Liverpool did. Obviously, the news coming into the game, we heard Jürgen mention the illness bug that had swept the camp, rumours of who's missing, who's not. It turned out the goalkeeper, Alisson Becker, and then, of course, Joe Gomez, defender, both absent. Add that to all the injuries, suspensions. Obviously, you got Conor Bradley away on bereavement as well. And, yeah, Liverpool were a little bit short-handed. And it kind of showed, to be honest with you. It was a little bit of a lethargic performance from Liverpool. They weren't quite at it. If anything, Burnley probably started better. And Vincent Kompany will be really disappointed there. They scored one goal. They probably had chances to score 3 or 4. Some really big opportunities in both halves to get Liverpool behind, and they didn't quite capitalise on it. And if you don't kill Liverpool, you don't cut the head off the snake, then eventually it'll come back and bite you. And that's exactly what happened to them, unfortunately. The goalkeeper, who had a relatively good game all over, has a bit of a stinker for the first goal. And Jota gets his. Really good to see Jota again, right place, right time. It's not a coincidence that he's there, is he? That's how it goes. Liverpool, I thought, from that point on, weren't great. And the goal that Burnley scored, they obviously identified something. They kind of didn't... They had the big men looking like they were going to make a real run into the box, maybe get past Liverpool's blockers. They kind of hung back a little bit. And I don't think Liverpool defended that well. It was a good goal by O'Shea. But, yeah, not great, really, from the Reds. Defensive-wise. The change at half-time, actually, at time record, I'm not sure why. I'm guessing there must have been an issue with Alexander-Arnold. I can't see why else Liverpool would put Curtis Jones to right-back. I know Trent didn't do well in the build-up to their goal when we conceded the corner, but I can't imagine it was tactical. I might be wrong. What it did, it got Harvey Elliot on the pitch, and he changed the game. Harvey Elliot, his energy on the front foot. He obviously gets 2 assists. He assists Diaz's goal. Diaz does well to adapt, and Darwin's header late on just to make sure everything was all right. It was a great header. So really, really good. What I'm trying to think. Really good impact rather from Harvey Elliott. Nice to see him getting off, because I don't know what else he needs to do to start. It's really difficult that he isn't getting these starts. But when he plays so well off the bench, you can see why Jürgen wants to bring him into games. He might be making himself a little bit of a role of a super sub. And listen, it isn't the worst place to be in the world, is it? Coming on and playing for Liverpool every week. But I thought he really did make a difference. His sub kind of changed the game up for Liverpool, got a little bit more energy, a bit more creativity, and like I say, gets himself 2 assists. The first one, obviously, via a little bit of a deflection, but still, he was in the right place. He did well to stay on side. And then the second one's a good, lovely ball in. And I say Darwin's header was absolutely fantastic, reaching back, getting those neck muscles going, and getting Liverpool back. Restoring rather, earning a 2-goal lead, which let us all breathe a sigh of relief, because if that game's 2-1, 85, 86, 87, you know, Burnley can throw the kitchen sink at it, and we're all very, very nervous. Thankfully, that never came. I think that because Darwin's header kind of put the game to bed, I think Burnley they probably realised they were chasing a lost cause at that stage, or they didn't bother doing it. I'm going to shout out here as well, Kelleher. I mentioned before, obviously, Alisson Becker was ill, and I was, listen, I'll be honest, I don't know you guys, let me know in the comments if you disagree with me, maybe I'm being harsh. I haven't been overly enthusiastic about Kelleher's performances this season. I thought he's been a bit shaky, a bit temperamental. I think he makes 2 massive saves in this game, really big ones. First one, of course, the one-on-one early in the first half, gets a big hand to it, and then the second half, obviously Kwanza's header cannons off Fofana. He's through one-on-one, and Kelleher is out. Big save with his foot, excellent. And then only minutes later, Fofana's in again, and this time Kelleher, he doesn't make the save, but I think he does well enough to make the defender, you know, he stands up tall and makes the striker have to try and beat him, try and bend it round that post. Didn't quite get it right. So I mean, been a good fortune maybe for Liverpool, because it could have been a different game if he'd have scored that. Like I say, Liverpool went perfect, but perfect's hard. You know, no, who's perfect at this point? If I watched, you know, everyone's looking at Manchester City, obviously rightly so. They didn't have a shot against Everton for a long time. In the end, they get the job done, because that's what teams who are good teams do. And I felt like Liverpool were very similar today. At home, against the relegation-threatened side, just get the 3 points and we'll deal with the rest of it later. That's what Liverpool did. But yeah, I really think shout out to Kelleher for 2 massive saves. Hopefully that does him the world of good going into the final, because like I say, his form has been patchy. I was wondering on the goal, could he have done a little bit better? I don't think his footwork was brilliant, but steps up when he 2 massive saves. One before that, of course, and one late in the game when Burnley were really on the front foot and trying to make a real fight of it. Kelleher makes a really good save, and like I say, shout out to Harvey as well, because I thought his sub really did change it. And also, I thought Endo, I thought first half he looked a little bit off it. He didn't look quite at the races. Gets a yellow card that kind of comes because he's a little bit off it. But I thought in the second half in particular he was really good. Liverpool helped him out a little bit. I think they got Alexis McAllister closer to him. But Endo, with the ball and without it, was much improved in that second half. So credit to him for coming back in. He showed how much a difference he could make in this side. And then finally, because you can talk with everyone, and I'll do that later on the player ranking show. But Virgil van Dijk, I thought pretty much faultless. I can't think of it. Loads of headers. In the end, he started keeping it away from him, started going towards Kwanzaa. But another captain's performance from Van Dijk. Listen, like I say, there was quite a bit, especially in the first half, a little bit wrong. I do wonder how many of these lads are suffering with this illness. Are any of them carrying it into the game? Because it was a little bit sluggish, but ultimately job done. 3 points, you move on. You try and get everyone fit and available. Try and get more lads back for the time Brentford comes. Hopefully no one else goes out. That's the one thing that you need to worry about. So hopefully Gomez and Alisson get themselves better soon. They can be back in for Brentford, you would hope. There's talk Mo Salah could be back. Szoboszlai could be back. Obviously, Konate won't be suspended anymore. Conor Bradley, if he's willing and he's in the right mental state, to take as long as he wants, of course. But Jürgen expects him to be back in training next week as well. So Liverpool are going to get the cavalry back together. They're going to get the reinforcements. They just had to get through this one. And in the end, they did it. Like, what we've got is a goal threat. We've got lads, the front three all scored goals. So even when you're not quite 100%, you're not quite at your best, when you've got a threat of goals like we've got, then you've got half a chance, haven't you? So yeah, that is my reaction to the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. It was nerve-wracking, but Liverpool get the job done. They go to the top of the league again, reclaiming that place from Manchester City. I understand the game in hand and stuff, but it doesn't matter. Just get yourselves top, get those points on the board, because we're in this again. It's us and it's City, and we're doing this whole thing again, and this is how it's going to be from now until the end of the season. So if these Reds could just keep on winning, that would be absolutely fantastic. Right, thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and like I say, if you have, please do give it a thumbs up on the way out. If you subscribe here on the YouTube channel as well, it really does help us out. And like I say, go and check out all the other reactions. You've got Paul, you've got Chris, you've got Chloe, and you've got Dan, and loads more of the post-game content here on the YouTube channel. See you in a bit.